I went for a coffee with a friend. He told me he was renting out his apartment on this thing called Airbnb. Obviously, I asked him a few more questions about it. Cut a long story short, I was in IKEA a few hours later, and then I had a truck full of furniture and spent pretty much the night putting it all together. So took some photographs, put it on Airbnb, didn't even really know what I was going to do next, and had like 3.5 grand's worth of bookings in 5 days, and I guess that was the drug for me, and I was hooked. So I then had a couple of other properties that were going through conveyancing, and when they came to completion, I just decided to run them as well, even though they were nowhere near town, in one of the rougher areas of Newcastle. And when I told people I had them there, they were almost like, you what? And again, bookings just kept streaming in, so I then just kind of kicked on from there, really. And a bit like Julie, you know, you start poking around and getting requests from people, and then you just decide to, okay, yeah, I can do that, and yeah, I can look at that. And then I kind of fell into rent to rent by accident. I noticed there was a company kept booking through booking.com, and I was like getting really annoyed that I was having to pay obviously an 18% commission. So I rang them up, and more to just say, can you please book with me and stop booking through booking.com? And lo and behold, they needed about another 16 beds or something for 8 months. So I went and acquired 5 rent-to-rent properties in 10 days to fulfill that booking. And then someone said, oh, that's rent-to-rent. So I went and Googled what rent-to-rent was, and sure enough, I'd sort of done it by mistake. And then I realised how easy it was to pick up other people's properties. So I went a bit hell for leather with that. Anyone that knows me knows that when I get the bug for something, I go all in, whether that's business, sport, fitness, family, friends, whatever it is, I'll go all in. So that's what I did, and then off the back of that, I got a phone call about 6 months later, as I'd built the portfolio using rent to rent. I got a phone call off a friend saying, I've got a guy who's got a block of apartments, he needs some help because the current management company's let him down. Do you do management? I was like, well, yeah. So you're not going to turn down an opportunity. I've got the systems and processes in place, so I don't see why it's that any different. So and that started my management journey.
Having a blast, gonna get it on the Bruce Lee podcast. Bruce Lee like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely.